Call the roll.
Trustee Healy.
Here.
Trustee Katsinas.
Here.
Trustee Malani.
Here.
Trustee Compass.
Here.
Trustee Reardon.
Here.
Trustee Radishevsky.
Here.
Mayor Pico.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the October 17th, 2022 regular meeting minutes.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to approve the minutes of the Board of Trustee meeting of October 17th, 2022.
Second.
Any changes? Call the roll.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Radishevsky.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Accounts payable.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy.
I move to approve the accounts payable from October 18th, 2022 through November 7th, 2022 in the amount of $6,646,045.12.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Radishevsky.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Consent agenda.
Okay, we've got the longest consent agenda I've ever seen since I've been mayor. Item A, payroll approval. Item B, payroll approval. Item C, disposal of village equipment online auction, Public Works Department ordinance. Item D, 22-056, ITB, facility duct cleaning, Public Works and Police Station rejection. ITB 22-061, item E, ITB 22061, rec admin, entry ramp and ADA access improvement project, reissue, rejection. Item F, plat of easement grant and vacation, LaGrange Square. Item G, Cook County intergovernmental agreement for Chicago Southland Fiber Network. Item H, Henderson stainless steel dump body purchase and installation. Item I, 2022 road improvement program construction management change order number 1. Item J, Wild Fork Development petition for approval of the site plan, landscape plan, and elevations. Item K, traffic impact studies for the Parks Master Plan RFP and award. Item L, fiscal year 2022 budget amendment number 9, approval. Item M, an ordinance amending appendices A and B to ordinance number 5676, Sixth Amendment. Item N, vehicle licensing software system and fulfillment services for 2023 to 2025 vehicle sticker cycle approval. Item O, amend Title 7, Chapter 4, number of Class A, Class A-5, Class B, and Class C ordinance. Item P, customer service essentials training. Item Q, an ordinance amending Title 6, Chapter 2, Section 6-2-2-8 of the Orland Park Village Code in regard to the removal of dead trees in certain natural areas. Item R, amend Title 7, Chapter 18, increased number of video gaming license ordinance. Item S, Bluff Point subdivision revised, 2019. Item T, Bluff Point subdivision Second Amendment. And item U, Bluff Point development agreement Second Amendment 2022.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
I move to approve items A through U of the consent agenda.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Radishevsky. Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Sensus new water meter replacement program purchase.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Reardon.
I move to approve authorizing the purchase of large and small census water meters from Core and Main of Mokina, Illinois, in amount not to exceed the board-approved budgeted amount of $4,052,587, and authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review.
Second.
George, you want to give us the quick summary on this?
Yes, this is in, as the board may recall, as part of the 5-year water and sewer projects, the board approved a proceeding with the water meter replacement program. This item and the next item are both related to that.
And we're replacing this over how many, 1 year, 2 years?
2 years.
2 years, okay. As opposed to the 20 years that we were doing it before.
Yeah, we had a cycle of about 8 to 10-year cycle, and then we would have a dip, and then we would start replacing them again.
Right, and I remember you gave us the presentation on this, and it made a lot more sense to do these up front and then not have to deal with it for several years.
Yes.
We also have to find a new attorney.
That was in the consent agenda.
Sorry about that.
Any other questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Reardon. Aye. Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski. Aye. Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Water meter replacement installation, RFP 22-062.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
I move to approve awarding RFP 22-062 to Professional Meters Incorporated of Morris, Illinois, for a total amount not to exceed $3,500,000, which is $3,148,484.92, plus a contingency of $351,515.10, and authorize the village manager to execute all related contracts subject to village attorney review, and allow the village manager to approve change orders not to exceed the contingency amount.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon. Aye. Trustee Radiszewski. Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Ordinance authorizing Second Amendment to Development Agreement, Orland Ridge.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to adopt an ordinance entitled Second Amendment to the August 17th, 2020 Development Agreement on Orland Ridge at 16727 to 16801 South LaGrange Road.
Second.
Mayor and Village Board, the next three items are all related. First, we're just going to have Steve give a brief overview of the three items, and then we're going to introduce some of our new friends from Silver Cross.
Very good. So the first two, the amendment to the development agreement and the amendment to the original special uses, because the development is now, a lot of it is completed, the infrastructure is done, so we're separating the two commercial parcels that were on LaGrange Road from the residential development, so they will each stand on their own. So that's just modifying the original special use ordinance, so the residual will just be for the residential portion, and then removing those things from the accompanying development agreement. The second special use permit, which is the 0141, is a new special use permit for plan development, which is the Silver Cross proposal, and they will present their case.
I'm very excited to introduce four representatives here from Silver Cross. We have Ruth Colby, President and CEO. We have Scott Paddock, he's Vice President for External Affairs. Vince Pryor, he's the CFO, and Mark Jepson, VP for Operations. And President Colby is just going to give us a little presentation about this project.
Well, thank you, and good evening, everybody. It is such a pleasure to be here. I will mention that both Scott and Vince live in Orland Park, just so you know. But anyways, thank you, Mayor Pico and Village Council members, for allowing us to present our proposal to you tonight of a medical office building in Orland Park. And we believe that this project is consistent with the Silver Cross mission of improving the health of those we serve and advancing wellness in our community. And we also believe it will be of great value to the people of Orland Park. Just a few short words about Silver Cross. When we moved to our new location in 2012, we were 289 beds. We have grown now to 348 beds, and we have more than 12 satellite facilities around the southwest suburbs. We partner with Chicago's leading academic medical centers for specialty services, University of Chicago for cancer, Shirley Ryan Ability Lab for rehabilitation, Lurie's Children's Hospital for pediatric services, and our new NICU, which is the only NICU in the community, and Rush University Health System for lung cancer. But most importantly, and the thing I'm most proud of, is the fact that we have achieved national recognition. We have been on the 100 Top Hospital Award list for 10 times, and we've received an A for patient safety for 15 times in a row. So this says to the community and to all of you that we are bringing a high-quality organization to Orland Park. So you might say, why Orland Park? Why did we pick this site? Well, we took a look at our patient origin data, which means where do patients live, what zip codes do they live in who use Silver Cross services. And look what we found. Thousands of Orland Park residents have had inpatient stays at Silver Cross, and thousands more are using our services for outpatient care. And as you already know, the Orland Park Fire Protection District is part of the Silver Cross Emergency Medical System. And we've seen major increases in the number of ambulances coming to our hospital. And you can see on the screen that we've had over 4,300 ER visits in just the past 2 years. We are very proud to serve the residents of your community and desire to bring more services closer to home. So a little bit about this project, a little history. You may remember a group called the Pronger-Smith Medical Group, and I think thousands of people in your community were patients there. And Pronger-Smith joined another medical group for a little while, but back in 2020, they approached Silver Cross and said, would you be interested in doing a partnership with us? And we said yes. So we formed this partnership. There were 28 providers, both physicians and advanced nurse practitioners and PAs. And we cleverly named the group Premier Suburban Medical Group, which has the same initials as Pronger-Smith Medical Group, so that people would remember who they were, and wanted to bring them back into this community. When we first did this in 2021 and up to today, they are in 7 different locations. Our goal is to bring them all back together on LaGrange Road in Orland Park for ease of use for patients and bringing all the services under one roof. The group has grown in the last couple of years. We now have 38 providers, and we've added more specialty to the group. Very strong in family practice and internal medicine. We now have general surgery, gastroenterology, and a very large hematology oncology service. So with this growth, it's absolutely no surprise that we are out of space. Thus the idea of the Orland Park Medical Building. 42,000 square feet office building with expanded services that will offer one-stop care for patients. To do this, we'll invest $25.5 million in this building, and with that investment, we'll be able to offer extended and comprehensive imaging services, including PET-CT, MRI, X-ray, ultrasound, and regular CT. We'll have lab services, and we'll be able to do everybody's favorite colonoscopies right on site. The center will also have after-hours care. That was a joke. And anyways, if approved this evening, we hope to have our groundbreaking on November 14th. We'd be thrilled to have you at this event. And here is a picture of the building. We think it's beautiful. We hope you think so too. We have finished the drawings for the allocation of space inside the building. If approved tonight, we're ready to put a sign up on November 9th, and we're scheduled to open early in 2024. Maybe earlier if we're lucky with the weather. We'll see. So as I told the mayor, we'd like to dig a hole tomorrow, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Any questions, comments?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
I just want to say Silver Cross is an outstanding facility. The old building and the new one. I had both of my children at Silver Cross and have used your facilities a lot. So thank you for coming to Orland.
Thank you, Trustee. I really appreciate your comments.
Any other comments?
I also feel the same.
Trustee Radiszewski.
I've been to the Silver Cross a few times, and excellent service, excellent doctors. Yeah, I couldn't be more happy to have something closer to home.
Thank you. Thank you, Trustee.
Yeah, so as many of you know, we've made a big focus of trying to expand our economic development and also broaden our economy away from just strictly retail, and medical is obviously a big part of that. We've seen some other groups come in. It's great to see a group expanding that's close and local as well. As much as we like the other providers we have here as well, it's nice to have somebody who's got ties to the community already and is involved. So that's fantastic. And to address some concerns people have put out on the on social media over the last couple months regarding this entire development in Orland Ridge. You know, the stuff that's out there that they don't pay any property taxes because they're rentals. Well, rentals have to pay property taxes too, so everything that's being built there is paying property tax. But also, the village can't control whether something is rented or purchased. So there's something we can't do. But the rental rates there are over $3,000 per unit, and a lot of people go, well, why would someone do that? I don't know, because I would buy a house rather than pay that much, but there is a market for it, and people are paying it. And that community is targeted 55 and older. So it actually, the people were worried about their schools, when in reality, there's going to be very few students coming out of that particular residential development. And then on top of that, now you have Silver Cross, which is fantastic. The Silver Cross, they're going to put $25.5 million into the facility. You've got 12 primary care physicians, 10 specialties, and the Silver Cross buildings will also pay property taxes. So when you think about all of that, all those property taxes that are now going into your school district that you weren't getting before, because District 140 is not, it's not like District 135 that encompasses the mall and all those areas. District 140 has limited commercial development, so the homeowners pay a bigger burden of their property taxes towards their schools. Well, now with the more commercial development there and these other buildings that don't provide a whole lot of students, it's going to really help your schools. So in spite of, which is completely different than what's been being said, and so I think it's important to note. And it will also be fantastic to have that along LaGrange Road and continue to further build that out. And these are going to be beautiful buildings. So we're very happy to have you, and very, very happy to see you come on board. And wish you could open it sooner, but I guess 2024 will have to do. And hopefully you won't have any supply backups. I think we're really going to need a new attorney. He might keel over here tonight.
He needs a new building.
You might have a patient. So, anybody else, anything to add? Okay, call the roll.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Ordinance granting an amendment to a special use for planned development, Orland Ridge, 16727 to 16801 South LaGrange Road.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Radiszewski.
I move to adopt an ordinance entitled Ordinance Granting an Amendment to a Special Use for Planned Development, Orland Ridge, 16727 to 16801 South LaGrange Road.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon. Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Special use permit for planned development for Silver Cross Medical Office Building, 17047 LaGrange Road.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
I move to approve a special use permit for a planned development with modifications to the Land Development Code, Silver Cross, 17074 LaGrange Road, subject to the conditions and modifications in the Board of Trustees' recommended action, and move to adopt an ordinance entitled Ordinance Granting a Special Use for Planned Development, Silver Cross Medical Office Building, 17047 South LaGrange Road.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Liability insurance renewal, 12/1/22 to 12/1/2023.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Healy.
I move to approve the liability insurance renewal agreements with the recommended carriers/vendors and associated expenses effective December 1st, 2022, and authorize execution of said agreements by the village manager, subject to village attorney review.
Second.
Do we have a presentation?
Mr. Mayor and Village Board, you may recall that a few meetings ago, we had Horton, who is our insurance broker, here to present for the health insurance renewal. And today, we have Tony Evans, also with Horton, who is going to just give a brief overview of the liability insurance renewal.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
I appreciate the invite, Mr. Mayor, trustees. Okay, this will be short. Just a reminder, Well, first of all, my name's Tony Evans again. I'm with the Horton Group, and I lead the property casualty public entity practice at the Horton Group. Last year at about this time, the village joined something called ICRMT, Illinois Counties Risk Management Trust. That is a pooled program, as well as your workers' comp, which is actually effective January 1st with Illinois Public Risk Fund. This year, so you've been in this program for 11 months, and there are a couple of key metrics I just wanted to make sure everyone understands. Your rates are essentially flat, but some of the exposures did increase. This last year, a separate entity, third party called Kroll, used to be Duff and Phelps, actually did an inventory and replacement cost appraisal of all buildings within the village as well as contents. And so just think about inflation and the impact that cost of goods sold, materials, labor, and what impact that has on the likes of building this building or a water tower or something that, that you all have. So the building, the total insured values increased approximately $30 million as a result of that appraisal. So that's about 11% increase year over year. Your total insured values are just over $270 million. Another exposure base is your expenditures. Those expenditures are estimated to increase for the 2023 policy term. That's the way that we look at it, by about a little over 11%. Your automobile values, not the number of autos, but the value of those vehicles, that increased also by about $1 million. And finally, your workers' compensation payroll, your estimated payroll, is going up just over $2 million, which is also a little over 10%. So the bottom line is that the three key coverages that I'm sure that you're hearing about a lot is property, which I covered, cyber liability, everyone's hearing about. 2 years ago, I was spending about 5% of my time talking about cyber. Now it's about 60%. And just this year, you fully implemented the multi-factor authentication. So not only are we in the business of insurance, but also working with you to make sure that you're protected outside of those policies. So year over year, it's just over $100,000 increase in premium. So even with all those increases that I talked about, it's a very, very good good opportunity for the village to be with ICRMT. They're a good partner for you. Any questions? Insurance related?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Compass.
So I don't, might be a confirmation or really of a short comment, and that is really, in reviewing all of this, I think one of the things I noticed was that this is we have another downstream impact of Cook County failures, right? So municipalities that carry Cook County exposures, we're further challenged by a limited market. Is that not right? That we've actually seen providers that...
Less competition, that's for sure. Yeah.
So, you know, I can understand why public entity insurers might not want to cover Cook County. That's their reasons, but it's more challenging for all of us, and it's a shame that our village, once again, has a downstream impact to having to deal with this, simply for residing in Cook County.
It's not just Cook County either, it's Illinois as well.
Yeah.
It's not Illinois. Cook County is absolutely targeted for their reinsurance contracts that are being non-renewed with some of these carriers that are that do conduct business in Cook County. And I'm just guessing right now, but I would say out of the 5 years ago, there might have been 20 carriers that are willing and able to write in Cook County. Now there's maybe 10.
Okay.
Any questions? George?
Any other questions?
Thank you again.
Any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
I have to abstain due to business conflict with court.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
I also have to abstain for business relationships with Horton. Motion carries 5-0.
Any non-scheduled citizens and visitors?
Anybody here to speak?
Seeing none, board member comments.
Trustee Compass.
So, last Thursday, I had the distinct pleasure in attending the annual award ceremony for all the athletes of our special recreation program. Mayor Peacock told me before the event that it's one of his favorites, and it didn't take long at all for me to understand why. My cheeks are still sore from smiling so much from that evening. It was a great night. I'd like to congratulate Nick Harvey, Justin Banks, and all the extended special recreation team and coaches for another successful year with our Orland Park Owls. Thank you. For my second point, in a similar vein to education and community outreach, I was thrilled this week to see Officer Chuck Kirby recognized for his generosity and personal connection to the students of Sandburg High School this past week. It's hard to believe that there are communities out there that fail to see the incredible value in our school resource officers. It's a tribute to our community that Orland Park schools embrace these positions, and we have 3 outstanding officers that currently work in this capacity. Officer Kirby is in his 3rd year as a school resource officer inside Carl Sandburg High School. Officer Kirby works inside the school for the duration of the whole school day. His main priority focuses on the safety of students and staff, but for the parents and staff that have come to know him, or for those that have seen pictures on our social media, Officer Kirby does an excellent job in connecting with the students and fostering a positive relationship with our police department. Officer Catchings is the department's DARE officer and has been in that role for the last 2 years. Officer Catchings teaches the DARE curriculum to 6th graders for all of School District 135 schools, as well as 5th graders at St. Michael's School, Fernway School, and Cruz School. The DARE curriculum helps teach kids how to make good decisions, specifically when it comes to drugs and alcohol. In addition to teaching the DARE curriculum, Officer Catchings also plays a crucial role in being a positive representative of the police department to youth at a very impressionable time in their lives. And then last but not least, Investigator Coyce was the department's DARE officer for 5 years before taking on different responsibilities this past year. Investigator Coyce is an important liaison between the police department and the various school districts within the village. Investigator Coyce attends lockdown drills and provides yearly safety talks with school staff for all the schools located within the village of Orland Park. So to Officers Kirby and Catchings and Investigator Coyce, thank you for all that you do, and I hope that we will see this program continue to grow over the next years.
Trustee Radiszewski.
I want to remind everyone that on Friday, 11/11 at 11, how about that? At the Village Hall, there will be a Veterans Day ceremony. Everyone is invited to come out and honor our military veterans. We'll also be doing a holiday collection for our troops the following Friday, November 18th from 1 to 5 at Village Hall. So join us to donate and assist in packaging holiday cookies for members of the military. Special thank you goes out to Orland Park Bakery for their donation. You can drop off packaged, store-bought bakery cookies, candy, holiday decorations. Sorry, I got tongue-tied there. And cash for postage is appreciated. And don't forget to vote tomorrow.
Trustee Malani.
I was going to keep it short and sweet. Someone stole my thunder, but get out and vote tomorrow. Try to keep us under a half hour tonight here. So thank you and have a good day.
Trustee Reardon.
I was just going to say, get out and vote tomorrow. That's all. And good luck to all the candidates.
Trustee Katsinas.
Not going to be redundant, but I just want to say what Sean said about the special rec. That is probably one of the best village events. To see the happiness in the kids' face, that of their parents, it's really, like Sean said, Trustee Campos said, you can't get the smile off your face. This village is committed to our special rec program and the participants. I want to say thank you very much to Director Ray and also Nick Harvey. Outstanding job. Thank you.
Trustee Healy.
I'd like to reiterate what Joni said. The 11/11 at 11, I mean, were you reading my notes or whatever? I'm the history guy, or you want, okay. So no, but it's a very proud thing to go and go to a ceremony that honors the fallen, our fallen heroes from over the years. But so I hope everybody takes the time to honor them in any way they can. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, before I have comments, I have a question for George. Village Hall, when can we expect to have our meetings back there? No offense, Chief, but I'm sure you're tired of setting up this room.
Things are progressing very well. I would ask Joel just to kind of come up here and maybe just do a couple sentences about how we...
It's progressing very well. We are looking at the second meeting in December to be back in there. They're actually putting drywall up now. So mudding and taping has started this week, which means finishing painting, that kind of thing. So both the conference room and the boardroom. So it's going on schedule as we're planned.
Okay.
So that's all good news.
Great, thanks.
And we have our historical photos already selected for the boardroom.
Yes, I know.
Bill approved.
Bill approved, but I'm sure it's not enough. We don't have a mural on top of the ceiling.
It's a good beginning, George.
It's a good start.
All right. So I actually walked through there before coming over, and it does look like it's progressing great. Also, I walked through the finance department redo. Fantastic job with that. Looks great in there and connects everything together and kind of opened up the spaces so people can work together and communicate a little bit better, which is also outstanding. I'm going to double down a little bit on the school resource officer since he brought it up. You know, we've had the District 135, we approved just a couple weeks ago, we approved adding 3 more school resource officers in each of the junior highs. Mind you, that the city of Chicago's already gotten rid of their school resource officers. The state of Illinois has had numerous attempts to try and eliminate school resource officers across the state. And we also have people nationally that want to get rid of school resource officers. So think about that, because we're talking about going out to vote. Think about that when you go out to vote. That there are people that want to get rid of those things, and they are fantastic, and not just because, and we have a school board member sitting here nodding in his head because he knows how great it's been. But it's not just how they connect with students. They also connect with some troubled students and get them help. And you can see him nodding his head again. But also, you know, we've seen some bad things happen throughout the country with doors that were unsecure and things like that. Our resource officer has caught things like that happening at the schools and gotten that fixed and gotten that remedied. So having that officer there paying attention to all of those things really helps keep our students safe, and it gets the students in front of, the relationship with students matters, relationships with police matters, but also he can identify when students are struggling and maybe get them to places to get them the right help. So, and then also officer catchings with the DARE program. I mean, how many places still even do a DARE program? Very few. They think it doesn't work. Well, I'm here to tell you it does. That's one of the reasons why we have such a great community, is because we continue to invest in these programs that actually work. So, so great work on that. And then, like was mentioned twice before, there's nothing like the special rec program and the annual banquet. We missed it for a little bit, and last year it was much more limited than this year. This year, with full participation, it was absolutely fantastic as always, and to see all the athletes having such a great time, and like they do every year is just fantastic. So for those of you board members who haven't made one, I would suggest making sure that's on your calendar next year and not missing it, because there's really, I can't think of another event that's better in the whole village throughout the year. With that, everyone please go vote tomorrow. It's the most important right that we have, and if you're not exercising that right, you really don't have any right to complain about the government that you get. So go out and exercise your right to vote. That'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon. Aye. Trustee Radiszewski. Mayor Peacock.
Aye. We're adjourned. Sorry it's longer.